And just to show you where teachers and state and federal employees stand in this battle, I call that the big war in this country, not the Iraq war. The Iraq war is now, today, but the future of our country, the way you really affect the future is our children. The real war in this country is not Iraq. It's private employees against federal and state employees who want pensions that are too big, who want health insurance for the rest of their lives, who want jobs to grow and grow and grow while small businessmen like me are firing people or refusing to hire people because our businesses are hurting. I'm like you. I own a small business and my business is down almost 30% and we're in trouble. Everyone I know who has a business is in trouble. So what are we doing? We're not hiring people, we're firing people. But the government keeps hiring on your dollar. It's a sin. It's a tragedy. So in Nevada, the governor said, got to cut $1 billion. And I said, they did. But listen to how they cut it. The teachers were due a 5% pay increase. And he said, well, that's got to go. In the midst of bad times, you can't get a 5% pay increase. And do you know what the teachers union said? Oh, yes, we can. We'll swap you. We'll take our pay increase. You cut $100 million worth of school textbooks. And they cut a deal. So they got rid of the school textbooks, but the teachers got their raise. That's what's wrong with America right now. Federal and state employees are bankrupting our nation. And let me ask you a question. Why should they get a better deal than all of us who pay the taxes? Why do they deserve a raise in bad times? Why do they deserve a pension when you and I work for a private company and don't get one? Why do they deserve health insurance paid for life when we don't get it? Why do they deserve pay that is 40% higher in many cases than the average worker in the private sector? I don't know. But I guess the only thing I can think of is guess who negotiates their contracts? The same politicians who get endorsements from the public employee unions. Then they get elected and they negotiate the pay increase for people that work for government. And you wonder why the taxpayer gets screwed. That's what Bob Barr and Wayne Root are fighting. And let me tell you something, there's still more Americans who pay taxes than those who suck off the system. And I'm telling you, we have an opportunity here to win them over with our message. The next issue that resonates on radio is education. Education is all about choice. You know, liberals talk about abortion and choice. I talk about education and choice. I'm talking about my children. I deserve to determine the future of my own children. Not government, not a government bureaucrat, not a politician, not a PTA, and especially not a teachers union. They're my children. And so in Nevada, they asked the following question of thousands of public school parents. If you had a choice, would you send your kids to public school, private school, parochial school, charter school, or homeschool? 89% said if they had a choice, they would choose something other than public school. Now, I don't want to wreck the public schools. I have no interest. To the contrary, I want to make them better. But I know that in America, capitalism works. If you said tomorrow, here's a law, IBM would have no opponent, no competition, just IBM. Do you know what lousy service you'd get from IBM? Do you know how bad of a company they would become? Because they would have everything to themselves. Well, that's what the public school system has in this country. If you create competition, suddenly they'd have to get better. Suddenly they have to fire teachers that don't perform, and they'd hire teachers and give them bonuses when they do a great job, just like business does. That's what I'm looking for. I don't want to get rid of public schools. I want competition for them, and I want choice. I want to take my tax dollars, my property taxes, and if my state of Nevada gives $5,000 a pupil for my property taxes, I want the right to take that money in the form of a voucher on the state level, and I want to be able to choose whatever I want and apply it to homeschool, private school, parochial school, charter school, or if I choose public school. That's what every American family wants. 89% of the polls agreed. And when I talk about it on the radio, caller after caller says, my God, where you been my whole life? That's the message that sells. And oh, by the way, statistics show public school teachers send their own children to private school at a rate far above the rest of the United States of America. I guess that's because we pay them so much. So those are messages that sell. Those are messages that work. Guns are a message that works. I spent a lot of time talking about guns, and I like to put it in a colorful way, because anybody can say I'm pro-gun. I'm a Jewish American who's pro-gun. And the reason I bring that up is because my relatives were murdered in the Holocaust. They were stuffed into gas chambers, and they were killed. And the reason they were killed is because in 1938, Hitler passed a law that took away the right of Jews to own guns. Then he came after them, he imprisoned them, and he murdered them. Ladies and gentlemen, if we want to remain free as a country and fight tyranny, nothing is more important than letting the government know that its citizens are armed and ready. Important message. And last but not least, I bring up an issue that's near and dear to my heart, and that's internet freedom. It really is gambling, but I like to talk about gambling in terms of internet freedom. I don't know how many of you know this, but the government banned the ability to play online gambling, online poker, just 2 years ago. And when they did that, they hurt a lot of people. There are 50 million, 50, poker enthusiasts in the United States of America. 50 million people who play poker on a regular basis. 12 million play it online. 12 million. Name some of the best poker players in the world. Phil Gordon, star of ESPN's poker shows. Phil Gordon has endorsed me and Bob Barr. Name Mike the Mouth Mattisau, one of the best poker players in the world. He just endorsed me and Bob Barr. Let's see, he's also got great Fossil Man Raymer, who won the World Series of Poker. He's won $6 million in the last 3 years playing poker. He just endorsed me and gave a maximum contribution to me and Bob Barr. The editor of Poker Player News, Stan Studikoff, just endorsed Wayne Root, Bob Barr. So we're bringing with us new groups that have never been to the Libertarian Party. The Poker Players Alliance, just to show you how mobilized poker players are, was a brand new organization. It's the lobbying arm of poker people, poker enthusiasts. And 2 years ago it was founded. This is a great model for the Libertarian Party. Founded 2 years ago, and now it's got 1 million paying members at $25 a piece. How would you like to mobilize that group? Poker Players Alliance just put out ratings of all the presidential candidates. John McCain, D, as far as poker players are concerned. Barack Obama, C, as far as poker players are concerned. Wayne Root, Bob Barr, A+, A+. We've got a great opportunity this year to go after poker players. So my message is, it's about the issues that really resonate and are positive, and we have agreement with the American people, and that's my list. That's it. I try and stick to that. And I'll give you another tip if you're a candidate. When the press asks you about something else, you know what you say? I'd like to talk about the economy. You can talk about whatever you want, and I bring it right back around to the issues that I care about and I know the American public agrees with us about. And so those are our issues, and we win on them, and we'll stick with them. And then constituency is what I'm all about. 27 million small business owners, millions of homeschool parents, millions of parents who want education reform, millions of gun owners, millions of poker players. And I also, if you looked at Time magazine, part of the article is about the fact that I'm a real vitamin and fitness enthusiast. I work out 2 hours every day. I pop 100 vitamin pills each day, and I eat organic food. Well, guess what? It's another audience for us to go after. Whole Foods does $6 billion a year in business. Whole Foods markets. You ever hear of them? Unbelievable. One supermarket, billions of dollars a year in business, and they all want their freedom and their choice. That's what the Libertarian Party is all about. Forget everything else. Freedom, choice, competition. That's the answer to everything. It's the answer to health care. More freedom, more choice, more competition. It's the answer to every issue you can name. The economy, you name it. So those are our issues. Those are our constituencies. And as I leave you today, I want to leave you with the words of my hero, Barry Goldwater, because I believe these should be the words of any libertarian politician who's with the people. The day that I take office, I want to put my hand on the Bible and say what Barry Goldwater said. The day will come when we entrust the conduct of our affairs to men and women who understand that their very first duty as public officials is to divest themselves of the power they've been given. In other words, the day you elect me is the day that I begin the process of handing the power back to you. Thank you, and God bless.